Okay, we'll call a meeting of the Middletown Police Commission to order. President is Commissioner Rodriguez, myself, Commissioner Vignola, Commissioner Mills, and absent is Commissioner Sullivan. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Just for the members joining us today in the audience, just a little summary of what this meeting is. It's a monthly meeting of the Police Commission. The Police Commission governs the police department. It's a civilian board that oversees the basically internal workings of the department. It's the hiring, the promotional aspects, policy setting, disciplinary action, promotional opportunities, and any other things that come up along the way. They do oversee all internal investigations, personnel complaints, any use of force complaints, and everything is reported and governed through the commission. So this evening, we'll start with old business. I just want to go back to revisit something that I addressed in the last meeting. This past Monday, November 15th, the Middletown Police Department, in conjunction with the Middletown School District, conducted what we considered an intervention for a group of our local youth that has been identified either by the police department or by the school district as acting out somewhat, whether in school or out on the street, kind of walking down that narrow line that they could fall off either way and stay as productive members of society or become problems in society. So we identified 33 individuals, hand-delivered invitations to them and their families, and we ended up with 15 families attending the event, which was, we expected about half, so we were right on point. It was very productive. We had many presenters and speakers that evening. Some members of the community that have lost loved ones, have dealt with hardship in their families due to their children becoming involved in illicit activities. We had many members of the school district there, some of our local leaders, school board members, Youth Coalition. We had Parks and Rec there, YMCA, to share examples of opportunities that are available for the youth to keep them off of the street and out of trouble. Members of the Youth Coalition from the county and from the town of Walk Hill. The event ran for about 3 hours and 20 minutes. So it was very productive, a lot of communication back and forth. So just wanted to fill the commission in on that and that it was successful. And we're hoping that we got through to some of the youth. One of the ideas we have for a follow-up with the same group of individuals, just to show that we are committed to their success, is we're going to hand-deliver individual invitations to our Youth Leadership Academy that will begin in January to the members of this group as well. Any questions in regards to old business?
No, Chief, but we can just note for the record that we have a couple guests if you just want to state your name if you like.
Are we on live here?
We're on live, yes. You can go up to the mic if you like.
I'm Tim Zazutek. I live in the town Walk Hill, but a big supporter, Mary. You've worked on Scouts with my son, so thank you. And I know the chief way back, not personally, but we're old Minnesink Warriors together. Mm-hmm. I'm here with my daughter, who's part of a class for Middletown High School, where they have to attend public meetings. And you're number 3 on our list, so thank you for the opportunity to meet everyone today. So we love Middletown, so thank you.
Thank you for coming. We know the other guy.
We should make him talk anyway, though.
You did. All right, Chief, go on with the agenda.
So moving into new business, I did forward the commission the minutes from the October meeting for your review. If you would like to discuss them, I have them available.
Make a motion.
A motion to discuss? To accept?
To accept.
Accept as written. Motion second. A motion by Commissioner Rodriguez, second by Commissioner Mills. All in favor?
Aye.
Moving into the statistics from the month of October, I did forward the commission the monthly report earlier this week. In the month of October, we handled 2,754 calls for service, which was an 8% decrease in call volume from the previous month. Our Part 1 crimes, year to date, we are still showing a 19% decrease over the previous year. From September to October, we're showing a 37% increase, most of which are, again, associated with property crimes. Part 2 crimes, year to date, we're showing a 20.75% decrease over last year, and from September to October, we are seeing a 20% increase as well. Again, mostly property crimes. Arrests so far this year, we are down 11% year-to-date compared to
Chief,
last year.
What did you say on the property crimes?
That seems to be the most increase in both Part 1s and Part 2s.
And what I'm looking at is, where are the Part 2s on here?
It should be page 3. Give me 1 second, sir.
So I got Part 1 violent is down 15.
Yep.
Part 1 property is down 20, or is that correct?
Give me 1 second just to pull it up. I didn't bring a hard copy. So Part 1's, the violent, the persons are down 15%, property are down 20% year-to-date. If you go to the second page there, it breaks it down year-to-date and by the month.
Right.
So you'll see an increase of 14 cases in total in the Part 1s, of an increase from the previous month. And the biggest significant increase was in the theft, the larcenies, from 25 to 30. On page 2, top.
Okay.
And then the following page is the Part 2, the 2 crimes. You'll see the biggest increase there is criminal mischief from 10 to 25, about midway down. And from the previous month to October, there's a total increase of Part 2 crimes by 7 incidents overall.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Arrests down 11% year-to-date. There's 157 arrests in the month of October, which was 11% decrease over the previous month. On the arrest, if just a point to point out, there's a 160% increase in Part 1 arrests. So our more serious crimes, we definitely had an uptick in the arrest on those crimes. Many of them were affiliated with our juvenile crimes that we've been dealing with. Traffic summons, or UTT, year-to-date, there's a uptick of 32%. From October or September to October, there's a 35% decrease. In the month of October, 206 traffic summons were issued. And overall for the month, 9 incidents resulted in uses of force, which was 5.7% of total arrests. Any other discussion with the statistics? Concerns, thoughts?
All good for me. All good?
Also in the new business, the Warming Center will be opening November 21st, this coming Sunday, and it'll be at its new location, and the ribbon cutting will be tomorrow there. Moving into the next item on the agenda is the staffing. After last month's meeting, we hired 2 officers. They have successfully completed and passed their psychological exams and the medical exams, so they are slated to begin their career with MPD on November 29th. With those 2 recent hires, we still have 7 vacancies. Currently standing at 64 sworn and still budgeted for 71. We're still working in several backgrounds. Some of them taking a little bit longer than we anticipated. But we will continue to work towards bringing additional candidates before the commission. Tonight, we do have one to present before the commission later this evening. The next police academy is scheduled to start on February 21st. Graduation of the current police academy is scheduled for January 7th at the Paramount Theater. Also, one of my dispatchers has been out of work on long-term medical, and it is believed that he will not return to work. He's planning on retiring sometime in the near future. Thus, I have requested the dispatcher civil service exam list, the candidates from civil service, and we will start to do background packets on them as well. Any questions or comments on staffing? Since the last time we met, the training that the department participated in, TrueNarc training, which is the electronic drug analysis training. We sent several people through that training. The niche RMS, which is the new records management system that the department, actually the county, will be transitioning to in 2022. We sent several people to training titled Police Trends in Current Environment. We trained our entire patrol staff on the uptick in limited use vehicles. That's the electric bicycles and scooters that we see throughout town, and what we can do with them legally. And we sent Lieutenant Tholen to the Leadership Summit. Additionally, this coming Monday, we begin one of our phases of in-service training. The topics for this round of in-service training will be use of force, legal updates, responding to mental health crisis, and fraudulent license plate investigations. Also, one of the programs that we implemented back in August is the QHIT, which is the survey that is being electronically sent out via text to people that we deal with. It is up and running. We're receiving about 45% of the text we receive. The texts that are going out, about 45% of them we receive feedback on. So it's still something we have to work on, promoting, getting more feedback and buying.
Any of the feedback helpful?
Yes, 90% of it is very positive, but there's a few that whether they were not happy with the outcome of their situation. I have a few that have come in that are more broad about what happened with the case, which really isn't on our end. But it is something, it's a nice feedback. I feel people are willing to do it because it's kind of anonymous. There's no face-to-face. They could say something, whether positive or negative, and we do have the ability to follow back up with them anonymously as well. So far, so good. And eventually, I would like to add additional questions to that. Right now, we're still just running those basic questions. Since the last time we met, I've had 3 employees out due to COVID, and all 3 of their exposures originated with their children through the school systems. Some of the upcoming events that we have scheduled, November 19th is we will be partnering with the Recreation and Parks Department for a Thanksgiving giveaway. November 22nd, 23rd, and the 30th, we will be doing interactive outreach through that youth grant that we're operating on. On the 23rd, we will be interacting with the high school girls basketball team. On the 23rd will be the boys high school wrestling team. And on November 30th, we'll be with the boys high school basketball team. That's about a 3-hour block where we do some interactive stuff. We speak about vehicle stops, some use of force scenarios, and just some general conversation about how to interact with police. November 23rd, we'll be participating in the My Brother's Keeper holiday dinner event at the high school. November 26th is the holiday parade Christmas tree lighting. The police department is putting together a float with a theme, the Peanuts theme this year. So I have some officers dressed up with as Peanuts characters. December 11th, the same float and most likely the same officers will participate in the holiday parade throughout the city with the Recreation and Parks Department. And on December 13th, we are slated to host Cops and Cookies again at the Parks and Rec Department.
Any of these or not?
Any questions with any of our outreach events? I still do have additional personnel complaints and internal investigations that are being reviewed and investigated internally. Once they are complete, I will forward them to the commission. Since our last meeting, the only one that I was able to have completed and forward to the commission is the one dated July 23rd, 2021. It's event number 21-2276, titled Use of Force Injury and Policy Violation that resulted in a disciplinary action. I did forward that to the commission for your review, and I don't know if you would like to discuss that or not at this time. If you're satisfied with the outcome.
I am.
Okay, so could I have a motion to accept that as written and the outcome? I have a first by Commissioner Vignola, second by Commissioner Mills. All in favor?
Aye.
That is basically all I have on my agenda, other than stuff that we'd have to address in executive session. Does the commission have anything further to discuss this evening?
Chief, maybe we could just note on the record that there have been several issues at the school,
Yes.
and that you have been meeting with the school district, and you've been briefing myself and others on what's going on. Do you want to give like a brief report? Or I know you don't want to go into it too deeply, but
Just
the public would like to know that we are,
Yes, I could touch on it briefly without getting into too many details. And it kind of goes back to our event that we hosted this past Monday. I've been working hand in hand with the school on some issues that are both, seems like we have a group of kids, young individuals that are causing some disruption in the school as well as out on the street. It's kind of spilling into the streets, or the streets are spilling into the schools. It's kind of like, there's some fractions that they come together at the school and their issues kind of culminate there. So the school's been dealing with it. Over some days when we feel like there's a heightened issue there, we'll send an additional SRO or additional officer there to help, just as a presence. We've been working with the school today. Lieutenant Dolan and Sergeant Welch spent some time at the school working with the school staff, the superintendent, the principals of the school. No issues today. There's no real rhyme or reason as to when the problems are going to start. It depends on what's going on with the youth. We do understand that some of it is being fueled through social media, some stuff that's going on, like I said, spilling into the streets. We did earlier this month have a couple incidents that after school, the kids started fighting, that we had to take action and actually bring some of them in. And again, that is how, one of the reasons we came up with this idea to bring this group of youth together to try to have some type of intervention with them to get their attention and let them understand like what they are doing and the behavior and the routes they're going is not suitable, and it's not going to lead them in a very good direction. But as of right now, I couldn't say anything that there's any issue in the school. We are monitoring it. We are putting people there as needed and working hand in hand with the school staff to address the concerns that they have.
Is the security, I mean, is the SRO involved, or what's his role
Such as what, when you say involved?
in the school district with all these issues going on? I mean, I was told this today, they had 9 fights in the school district.
I don't know if they had 9 fights. I know there was a fight yesterday in the lunchroom that
Oh, yeah, in the lunchroom.
had several people. The SRO is right there. Obviously, he's out in the halls dealing with stuff as well. As far as what's going on, I couldn't tell you specifically if there's nine fights.
And we're also told there's marijuana smell in the hallways, vaping, using marijuana in the bathrooms.
I don't know about that, and if it was, it wouldn't be a police issue. That's more of a school issue, yeah. Remember, the marijuana is now
Legal, but not
Legal.
in the school district. It should
not
be
inside the school.
drug-free zone, correct?
Right.
So
But-
is there any chance of our SRO, like, spot checking bathrooms, or?
I think that's something we would have to discuss with the school. I know in years past, they've had security do that, and I understand that some of the bathrooms are locked down right now. I don't know how much we want the SRO getting into someone's
I wrote
bathroom.
to Pastor Williams, the school board president, and Kevin Gomez this afternoon to address these issues. And
Okay.
they said tonight they have a board meeting and they will address it.
Okay.
But I think, we need to, as a community, especially see what's going on with these fights, and if these kids are not being held accountable, and then it's flowing into now the bathrooms are, it's getting kind of crazy.
I totally understand that, but I think we also have to look at, those problems can't simply be resolved with the police or the school. There's also a parent element there too, that
Oh,
we need
without a doubt,
the
yeah.
parents to step up a little bit as well.
That's probably where it comes from.
So we are monitoring it, we are working with them, and any suggestion, any direction, I mean, we're open to it. But it is a delicate situation. We don't want to go into the schools and take a strong police approach and, be arresting everybody either. We try to give them their due diligence to do and deal with their situations to the best that they can. We try to really step in the criminal actions if there are any.
The two groups that are not getting along are there 20 in each group, or how many kids are we talking about here?
15, 20, like the fights that we've encountered after school, 12, 15, 16 kids at a time, males, females, from 13 to 17. Many times we end up bringing people in. Moms come in, dads come in. Some have been criminally charged. Some have been just turned back over to their parents.
The same kids over and over?
It seems to be the same groups over and over. There may be a straggler new here or there, but for the most part, it's been the same group of kids.
Does our juvenile officer, is he involved in this?
He's been overwhelmed the last couple months because all of this under the new laws falls in his lap. So he's the one, and if you look in the monthly report on the second to last page, it shows what he's been dealing with. And I mean, I'll go to it just as a brief without getting into the specific details. So during the month of October, juvenile officer ended up doing 12 official investigations into this, arrested 6 youth, and let me just read off some of the charges. And this isn't specific to the school, this is a multitude of reasons. Actually, none of these arrests really stem from the school at all. The first subject was charged with robbery in the second degree, menacing in the second degree, petty larceny and harassment. Second subject, robbery in the second degree, menacing second, petty larceny and harassment. Third subject, criminal possession of a weapon, fourth degree, and resisting arrest. Fourth subject, obstructing governmental administration and resisting arrest. Fifth subject, criminal possession of a weapon. Sixth subject was robbery in the first degree, criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree, and attempted assault third. So again, these are juveniles, these are youth. So he's been very busy, Commissioner.
Okay, Chief, anything else?
Not unless you have anything further to discuss.
We'll need a motion to go into executive session.
I have a motion to go into executive session. Just real quick, is there anybody online, Eileen, that has any questions?
Not at this time.
Any questions from the audience? Comments, concerns? So I have a motion by Commissioner Vignola, second by Mills. All in favor to go into executive session?
Aye.
Aye.
Executive session will be for probationary interviews and police officer candidate interviews, as well as follow up on some personnel matters. So we'll be moving into executive session at 4:57 PM.
Please be advised, this ends the public portion of our meeting. Thank you.